Coming up on Inside California Education. Join us in Monterey, where more than 1,000 students gather to compete in the world of jazz. Experience what a day of competition is like for this talented group of young musicians.
Okay, so then we got the 180 plus another 20 gives you the 200 right there.
High schoolers in Riverside County are getting a jump on college through a dual enrollment program with the local community college, giving them a chance to earn both high school and college credit.
You're welcome.
And after-school programs provide crucial services for kids in a rural Sacramento district. It's all next on Inside California Education.
Funding for Inside California Education is made possible by... Since 1985, the California Lottery has raised more than $32 billion in supplemental funding for California's 1,100 public school districts from kindergarten through college. That's approximately $191 for each full-time student based on $1.5 billion contributed in fiscal year 2016-17. With caring teachers, committed administrators, and active parents, every public school student can realize their dreams. The California Lottery, imagine the possibilities. The Stewart Foundation, improving life outcomes for young people through education.
Welcome to Inside California Education. I'm Christina Salerno. Let's visit Monterey, where the Next Generation Jazz Festival draws thousands of the state's top student musicians. Discover how lessons learned on the bandstand translate to lessons for life as we go behind the scenes with the talented Folsom High Jazz program.
At the Monterey Jazz Festival's Next Generation competition, what you see and what you hear don't always sync up. What you see are high school kids with youthful faces playing and singing like adults who've done this for years.
I hear amazing talent. I hear our future. Kind of hear music coming from everywhere. Maybe there's a student warming up in one room and, and you kind of look around, you're kind of scared. It's like, well, I couldn't do that when I was in high school. It's like, what are these people feeding these kids?
Tanya Darby is a professional trumpet player who grew up in the Monterey area and as a high school kid played in this very same festival. 25 years later, she's back, obviously enjoying herself, judging the kinds of bands she was in. The Next Generation Jazz Festival involves middle school and college students too. Judges listen to more than 1,300 kids in 99 different groups. 2 of those groups are from Folsom High School in Sacramento County, which meant arriving at school that morning at 4:30 to be on the road at 5. Much of the 213-mile trip was spent catching up on sleep. Not long after arriving in Monterey, it's off to rehearsal rooms for last-minute practice and reminders.
So on your mark, get set, get out of town.
The Folsom Jazz Choir has competed here 25 times, the jazz band more than 30 times. It's not unusual for either group to bring home trophies after they've performed.
It's fun watching what kids are capable of. There's no limits, and it's just amazing. You just keep asking them to do more, and then they do it, and you're like, I have to stay one step ahead of these people.
Curtis Gazer teaches both Folsom groups so successfully, he was a 2018 Grammy nominee for Best Music Educator.
It was kind of exciting. The school got some money, and I got some money and all. It was all fun, but it's kind of interesting getting credited for work that your kids do. It's kind of odd to me.
His students are happy to give credit to the music teacher of 34 years.
He just knows how to pull together a band. His main focus is just, beyond anything, is to create the best band possible and to get us to where we need to be.
One thing Mr. Gazer has made me realize is that you are capable of accomplishing more than you originally thought you could do. That's probably one of the biggest lessons I've learned over my high school years. You can go farther than you really thought you could.
If anyone in the Folsom Jazz program is proof that artistic growth is possible, it's 12th grader Anders, a creative and confident drummer comfortable with unusual time signatures and tempos. He heard the jazz choir one day, liked what he heard, took singing lessons, and joined.
Be good to me, please.
It was Anders who took the very first vocal solo that day in Monterey. Another Folsom jazz player just as talented and even more confident is 12th grader Joel. The bassist is equally adept, using his stand-up bass as a percussion instrument, playing with his fingers or a bow, and then on a different song, switching to an electric bass. Joel's done just a little bit of thinking on the meaning of music.
And this is what I wrote my college essays about. I truly believe that we're all instruments in a symphony of life. I believe that each person has their own message. We may be categorized by a section, but ideally we all have to play in harmony with each other. Music teaches you to listen to other people, to respect their ideas, and to not be afraid to voice your own opinions, which are what teachers look for. We want people who are going to listen to the teacher, who are going to listen to their peers, and who are going to speak out. And that's what music is, just with instruments.
The Monterey competition is about more than performing songs that bands have been practicing for months. The competition also includes sight reading, meaning seeing music for the very first time, having just a few minutes to prepare, and then diving in.
All right, let me just kind of get a feel for this.
Mr. Gazer is seeing that chart for the first time too, but almost immediately can lay out for the kids what it should sound like.
Boo, bop, and 1, bop. That's on the downbeat of 2. Make sure you catch the downbeat on that. 25 is alto.
It's not all competition this weekend. Restaurants around Monterey host jazz groups so students can relax and play for fun as well. In some communities, it's been suggested school music programs be cut to save money. In Monterey this weekend, it was unanimous. School music needs to be saved for all it accomplishes.
The jazz student, jazz player, has to learn how to make good choices quickly, because when you're on the bandstand, you want to make good choices. So I use that as a metaphor in life, as we all know. Every day we have to make wise choices quickly. I've just seen the readout of that is that students who learn that, they're able to maneuver through life. It's always going to have its challenges, but it's a great life skill.
There's study after study after study done with students that were active in music when they were in middle school, high school. All those students, once they moved past high school, even if they didn't continue their musical careers, have a much higher percentage of excelling in whatever field that they're in. There's a certain foundation of social skills, there's a certain foundation of social etiquette that come with the territory. And if you're able to navigate that on a bandstand, then you're going to be able to navigate that in the real world.
So, on the bandstand, the jazz choir finished second, the 20th time since 1991 to be awarded as one of the top groups. The Folsom Big Band, though recognized for its impressive sight-reading skills, did not finish among the top performers. They played very well, but bands from Walnut Creek, El Cerrito, and Downey got higher marks. Mr. Gazer told us earlier in the day he'd be fine without another trophy as long as the kids played their best. Besides, within a week, they were off to another festival in Santa Cruz and preparing for a Reno event after that.
It's been a great life for me, for a great career. Getting paid to watch kids succeed is, it's amazing.
Scientists say jazz has many positive effects on the brain. The back and forth playing style of jazz activates the same area of the brain associated with spoken language. When jazz musicians improvise, that area of the brain ramps up even more, creating what could be called a spontaneous musical conversation.
Next, let's visit a high school in the Southern California city of Murrieta, where students can earn college credit through a dual enrollment program. Discover how this innovative approach is saving local families hundreds, even thousands of dollars in college tuition.
If you speak or if you do anything against the war effort here at home, they would put you in jail. And so, of course, we see this as a limit of your First Amendment rights.
One of the things that separates Julia Feuette's American history class from others at Vista Murrieta High School is that these students worry a lot less about homework. The lion's share of the classwork here is focused on lectures and student discussion.
So a couple things I do. One is history is lecture. I mean, it's a story. So to think that you can teach history without telling the story, it's not going to interest students. So I do these lecture interactives where every 1 or 2 PowerPoint slides I stop and the students read a quote, look at a map, analyze the picture.
Every disloyal German-born citizen should have his naturalization papers recalled and should be interned during the term of the war. It is time to strike our enemies at home heavily and quickly.
Julia's class is different in another way as well. This is a dual enrollment class. Students earn college credits while still in high school.
So I think that's the greatest thing about dual enrollment is it rewards work ethic. If the students show up, they participate, and they score a C or above on any assessments or activities, then they're going to get the college credit that they deserve.
Vista Murrieta's dual enrollment program began in 2009. Today, more than 350 students take part, mixing college-level courses with regular high school classes.
It started small steps. We offered a couple courses in the first infancy stages of the program, and now we offer over 20 courses on campus.
Those college-level course credits can then transfer to a community college or four-year university, giving students a head start on their post-secondary education. Darren Daniel helped initiate the program.
Dual enrollment is really about providing access for students. It's really making students competitive. I think one of the cornerstones of Vista Murrieta High School is the word competition. Since the opening of these doors, we've sought to compete in everything we've done, from academics, athletics, arts, activities. We've strived to compete at the very highest level.
So we're talking about the film, The Cider House Rules, John Irving's masterpiece. He wrote the screenplay.
Vista Murrieta High School offers a variety of subjects in the dual enrollment program. Everything from English, math, and history to science courses and music appreciation.
I did start off in regular English here and regular math classes, and so I didn't really put much thought into it, but once I started learning more about it and exploring like the nuances of everything that goes into taking an advanced level course, I definitely was fascinated that you can get your credits here in high school and also get your credits at the junior college level too.
Most students access the classes in their junior year, but can start earlier based on their readiness. Emily knew in her sophomore year that she wanted to be part of the program.
It was exciting for me because it was like something that I never really thought I would do because it was a college class and that wasn't really something that I would normally interested in.
It's actually giving me a good feel about how a college course is going because the teachers aren't always giving you a lot of homework, so you have to kind of figure it out on yourself, and reading, it's not, they don't check you for it, but you should really be doing it to catch up so you know what's happening in the course. Because I'm in critical thinking, so you really have to read the book to analyze and be able to write an essay on what you just read,
The Vista Murrieta Dual Enrollment Program is a cooperative venture with Mount San Jacinto Community College. The high school students are fully enrolled without charge as college students and have access to resources like the college library.
We always are looking at trying to find ways to create better pathways into higher education. Looking at an alternative, what could we do that was innovative? And the idea was thrown out to me, and I said, well, let's run with it. It was fortunate because it aligned with so many of the goals and objectives of their school district and our district.
Okay, so then we got the 180 plus another 20 gives you the 200 right there.
The dual enrollment program offers students significant incentives, financial and otherwise. Students say it prompts them to strive for academic excellence.
Prior to high school, I wasn't very academically inclined. I didn't really even see myself going to college, so I started with dual, and it really changed me because it really got me into the mindset of like, this is what college is like, but also it's helped me not be so scared to trying to do some higher level thinking.
It's really showed me what I'm going to have to be able to do in college beforehand,
which I appreciate because it's better to get the shock now and out of the way when I have all these people around me to support me than I think in my first semester of college when I'm trying to figure everything out then.
Allison is a senior taking a dual course in American Sign Language. She says her high school college credits mean she can skip a significant portion of her required freshman college work. Those fewer courses will save her money, and those savings add up. The school district estimates the dual enrollment program has saved area families more than $12 million in college costs since it began.
I know as of right now, I should be enrolled as a sophomore. I'm not sure if it's first or second semester, but I've got a lot of general freshman requirements out of the way that are kind of those basic level classes that dual is taking care of, that I can now go into the more advanced classes that are more specific to my college major.
I do have to start paying more attention to finance and how I'll be able to pay for my future in my college education. And so I think the dual enrollment program is definitely beneficial in that sense.
Teachers say the dual enrollment program has provided students with the gateway to a better future, benefiting them both personally and professionally.
Personally, to be involved with something like this that really connects students to the real world, to a college experience at a high school setting to prepare them. It's been a real blessing in my life, a real challenge for me as a teacher, and I've seen it challenge my students and take some of the best kids that we have and elevate their skill level.
They start to see themselves as a problem solver, and they start to see the world in a way that they can see the dots of, hey, I can insert myself here in this passionate area that I can make a difference.
It's one of the most amazing things. I've met so many great people, the teachers, the rigor, like everything that I've gained from it, like it's been positive. So I say if you have that opportunity to be in it, be in it. It's gonna be great.
In 2019, California community college students who take certain courses and maintain a good GPA are guaranteed admission to a University of California campus. The courses will lead to an associate degree for transfer into the UC system. Students may not get into their first choice, but will be admitted into one of 9 undergraduate UC campuses.
In our final story, we explore a common dilemma that many parents face. What will my child do after school? The answer for some can be found at the school itself in the form of after-school programs. Let's visit a creative after-school program in Sacramento that's providing crucial support for working parents.
It's a scene repeated daily in almost every school in California and across the nation. Final bell, classrooms empty, students boarding buses to head for home. Nearly 400 kids at Sacramento's Main Avenue Elementary are done for the day. But today, 122 stay behind. For these students, it's the start of something else, something positive. An early supper marks the beginning of daily participation in the Sacramento START after-school program. It's similar to programs found at as many as 4,000 California public schools. Local administrators say few places need it more than the tiny Robla School District.
As you look over my shoulder here, you see a horse pasture. It looks like a rural area. We have no hospital in this area. We have really no community agencies located in this area. So our count tells us that about 93% of our students are living in poverty, which is a very high percentage.
After-school programs provide kids a safe and healthy place to go when the school day ends.
The two options that we hear the most from parents is we're going to ask Susie or Johnny to come home and lock the door. And what that typically means is the child is sitting in front of a video game or a TV set and losing that opportunity to learn. And then in some cases, the parents have said, I'll have to quit my job so I can be home and make sure that that's not what's happening to the child.
Other things that can happen: poor nutrition, lack of exercise, the lure of the streets, diminished hope for the future.
Except for my brother would not like this.
The START program is these kids' daily reprieve from those challenges, a hands-on foray into art and science, sport and exercise, and the simple art of collaboration. Ulysses Rivera runs the show with his START staff, and he doesn't want to hear the words daycare.
We like to make sure that the participants and their families understand that we're a program. It's not daycare. It's about what can we do to make sure these students are successful as they move forward.
The program really provides fundamental support that the children need, educationally, academically, socially. They get physical activity, and almost one of the most important things that they get through our program is supper at the end of the day. For some of the kids that attend our program, that could be the last meal that they have until they come to school the next day.
We have a real opportunity here to do some great things and to make sure that these kids are career and college ready and successful throughout their lives.
That seems a tall order for a daily 3-hour session, but Ulysses himself grew up a foster child 2 miles away. He knows the difference a healthy after-school program can make.
I know myself, my foster brothers, my sisters, they could have benefited from a program like this when we were that age, and they weren't as accessible, they weren't as abundant as they are now.
Helping Ulysses is popular staff member Josh Bossick. He was a 5th grader when the START program began at this school. His mother says the experience helped him find a direction.
Seeing him develop and just mentor and help these kids and encourage them, it's an awesome thing to see happening.
Janelle's daughter Jasmine is also a START student. She knows her daughter is safe and engaged while Janelle and her husband are at work.
These programs are very important for the working families, and especially low-income families that can't afford to pay for either a babysitter or a daycare program, because without it, I mean, I don't know how parents will be able to work.
The great experience that the child has after school also increases the child's engagement with the regular day as well. Oftentimes, there's time and space for a child to learn in different ways, in creative ways. There's more time than there is in the structured classroom.
I have thought about being a doctor or something. I actually used to make little videos of being a doctor or a dentist or something. Hi!
Sacramento START is just one of dozens of programs providing similar services around the state. Unlike many, it's free, but like most, it's in need of a lifeline of its own. After 11 years of flat funding, after-school education recently got a $50 million boost from California's legislature. Expanded Learning Director Michael Funk says that helped.
But really, it's $8.19 per day to provide a high-quality program for 3 hours and sometimes more. It's still very low.
So low, says Jackie Beecham, it can't really be done without some very creative partnering. That job falls largely on her shoulders.
The reimbursement rate is not enough to really cover the costs of the program. It really relies on us being strategic in the way that we allocate funds, the way that we utilize staff, and then the partners that we build to help us provide these services for the youth.
Beecham says the challenge is finding and retaining the best staff available. Then engaging local arts, science, and theater groups, and organizations like 4-H and the United Way to help enrich the kids' afternoon hours.
We know that crime triples every day between 3 and 6 o'clock in neighborhoods that don't have these after-school programs. There's a whole host of negative consequences if these programs don't exist. The positives are the graduation rate goes up. Students feel better about their school in general. Students want to come to school at the beginning of the day because they want to also participate in the after-school programs.
Superintendent Torlickson and other public education officials say countless studies show funds spent on after-school programs like START are clearly dollars well spent. But the families of these children don't need reminders that dollars are hard to come by. Superintendent Reyes says if parents trust them with their children, they can also trust them to somehow find those funds.
You know, unfortunately, we have a lot of things to do, and seeking out funding sources, it would be great to spend our time on things that are more closely related to what our children's immediate needs are. But if that's what it takes, then I'm confident that that's what my staff and our partners will continue to do.
That's it for this edition of Inside California Education. If you'd like more information about the program, just log on to our website at InsideCalEd.org. We have videos from all of our shows, and you can connect with us on social media as well. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time on Inside California Education.
Talking about the film, The Cider House Rules, John Irving's masterpiece. He wrote the screenplay, won an Academy Award for this. It took him 10 years to put the screenplay together.
Funding for Inside California Education is made possible by... Since 1985, the California Lottery has raised more than $32 billion in supplemental funding for California's 1,100 public school districts from kindergarten through college. That's approximately $191 for each full-time student based on $1.5 billion contributed in fiscal year 2016-17. With caring teachers, committed administrators, and active parents, every public school student can realize their dreams. The California Lottery, imagine the possibilities.
So, Greg, it's a lot to take in.
And I know that's hard to hear, but the doctors caught it early.
Hi, Blake. My dad has cancer.
And I know how hard that is to hear. But you're in the right place.
And Dr. Pascal and her team, they know what to do.
They know what to do.
The doctors know what to do.
So here's the plan. First off, we're going to give you all this information.
The Stewart Foundation, improving life outcomes for young people through education. Additional funding for Inside California Education is made possible by these organizations supporting public education.